another edition of Arsenal Fans Beat brought to you by Arsenal Fans Globally. After that lethargic and disappointing performance at the Bayer Arena Stadium in Germany against Bayern Leverkusen, Arsenal's attention is now focused in the Premier League where they were playing against Everton. And this match promises to be an exhilarating and entertaining one. It's also going to be tense because when you look at the way Everton plays, it's going to really be a tough battle for Arsenal. But this is where they need to prove to doubters and naysayers that they've got the capacity to nullify every opposition this season and go ahead to win the Premier League. Before we go into the nitty-gritty of the tactical formation, team selection, and prediction, I want us to go back in history and look at the history between these two sides. The very first time Arsenal played against Everton was in April 5th, 1905, and that game took place at the Goodison Park Stadium, now known as the Hill-Dixon Stadium, after the rebukes by Everton management. And Arsenal lost that game by lone goal scored by Alex Young. And thereafter, the two sides played the first ever televised match between the two sides, took place in August 29, 1936. And ever since then, they've been grappling among themselves, being buggy for each other. But if you look at the head-to-head count, Arsenal really have a triumphant victory over Everton. But going into this game is going to be one that is going to be really daunting for Arsenal. Especially when you look at the fact that Arsenal defeated them with a lone strike at the Hill-Dixon Stadium. So Everton will be looking at everything possible to ensure that they unsettle Arsenal. And this is not the first time they've unsettled Arsenal in the time past. But this is where we need to look at Arsenal team and really reevaluate them. But if you want to take a look at that performance at the Bayer Arena Stadium, then every Arsenal fan will have their heart and their thoughts hanging in a balance because we don't even know what to expect from our darling team now. One would think they're going to take a game by the gauntlet and go ahead to win it. They seem to be missing their line and fluffing their opportunities because at every match that Arsenal plays, we have daring opportunity to take the game. But somehow we're just misfiring. And this misfiring, I don't know whether it's a tactical issue, whether it has to do with the players, because sometimes a lot of us want to blame Mikel Arteta, but the question now comes, if you're putting on the shirt, it is your responsibility to go on that pitch and ensure that your effort counts, especially when you look at how much we've lost the Premier League in the last 3 seasons. This should bring fire in your belly. And you should play with a lot of audacity, a lot of presence, a lot of authority. And you also play with an animosity, even though football is a friendly game, that when you play, but it's also a competitive game. But we're going to be looking at the tactical board to look at what Arsenal is expected to do. But if you look at the way David Moyes plays, he played the old school kind of football. But over time, when he used to play the 4-4-1-1 formation and the 4-5-2 formation, he has also grown into a shape where he also prefers to play a defensive solidity with a lot of concentration in getting his opponents on a counter. That is one thing that Arsenal need to ensure they avoid so that they don't get caught up in the mix of things. Having Jordan Pickford in goal and the likes of James Tarkowski in the defense with Michael Keane, it is really going to be an undaunting day for Arsenal and especially for our strikers. So this is where we need to look at the strength of Victor Gyökeres. I think he is a bullish and very strong striker. This is where he needs to really battle if he needs to sneak a goal in this game. Because even though Michael Keane and James Tarkowski are very solid in the way they defend, the wing backs also, Vitali, Michael Lunke, they know how to go forward, daring forward, and in the attack, Arsenal need to be wary of the runs of Beto. Beto Gomez, the Brazilian-born player, he's also a daring player. And don't also take it away from Kieran Disbury. I don't know who Moyes is going to be playing. But let's go to the tactical board so that we'll look at how Arsenal is truly going to face this game. I want Mikel Arteta to go all out with the 4-3-3 formation because it appears as if the 4-3-2-1 formation has not been working for us. But let us see how we can try with the 4-3-3 formation. As always, it is David Raya in goal, have during Timber the right back, William Saliba thankfully is back now. He will be pairing with Gabriel Magalhaes in the centre part of the defence, and Piero Hincapié need to solidly hold his position because he's really been doing a yeoman's job since he has held strongly to that left side, especially with the injury to Calafiori. And Miles Lewis Kelly can come in now at this point. Now in the sixth, I want Mikel Arteta to change something which I've been crying for. Christian Norgard is an experienced guy in the Premier League. We've gotten to that point where we need his experience to count. So we need Christian Norgard to play in the 6 and in the 10 because we don't want to rush Captain Fantastic. We also need him to come on in that game against City at the Etihad. So we need him to be in the best of shape. So we're still going to go with the juggling guy. I call him the juggling guy when he's really on a roll. But when he's at his best, he's a very good player to have. Talking about Iberici is in the 10th position, and Declan Rice will be playing at the 8th position. We know this is not the time for us to rush also Trossard. Martinelli will have to get started in this game, and Victor Gyökeres will be playing in the 9th position, and I want to see Madueke starting this game. Bukayo Saka need to sit out and let him understand that it is not a stroll in the park. Whether you are the assistant captain or not, it's not a stroll in the park for you to get into the team. He's not been playing very well, and playing him against the hard-fighting defenders in Everton will be another waste of time at the beginning of the game. So I want to see that daring run of Madueke. But the only thing I need from Madueke is his final ball. They must count. You must know when to take a shot and when to avoid doing those downting runs. But those downting runs, truly, in one way or the other, helps us. Especially, you saw what happened when he took on Tillman of Bayern Leverkusen. We were able to get a penalty, even though that penalty seems to be controversial. But this is a different ball game. Going into this game is going to be a tactical one. It's going to be a tough one. We're going to be facing a hard-fighting Everton side that really know how to go on in the set piece. They're very good in the set piece, especially when you see the way they wrestle players. If you recall the match they played against United, they were basically wrestling everybody on that pitch. So Arsenal players must be ready. They must be ready to take it by the gauntlet, fight every ball. For us to win this game, Arsenal need to do what they've not been doing all season, winning the first ball and the second ball. And we must keep our mental capability and alertness in place. We must ensure that we don't allow our eyes to go off the prize. This is one of those games that we need to nick and win conclusively. I'm suggesting that, I'm predicting that this game is going to end in a 3-1 for Arsenal. It's going to be Arsenal 3, Everton 1. Anyways, if you have a different or contrary opinion to my team selection, to my match prediction, please go to the comment section and just indicate there. And don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles as we keep on bringing you good reviews week in, week out. Until I come your way again, don't forget it is the Arsenal fans that say, come on, you Gunners!